What's up, Vibe Tribe? It's me, Salia Marie 1243. I'm still a fairy, but I'm doing more than tarot. And look at my unicorn friend. His tail is a little sparse, and it's fine. There's still magic there, okay? Yes, so the whole fairy tarot sister thing, if you guys listen to my podcast, which will be linked down below, you would already know the hot and fresh tea on why I'm not calling myself Fairy Tarot Sister anymore. There's just a lot going on. I've expanded my horizons, y'all. We're expanding, okay? So basically, I've been doing a lot of energy healing. I've been doing a lot of workshops teaching you guys how to tap into your psychic abilities. Mediumship has been on the rise for me too. There's so much going on. So to catch up with everything, definitely check my website. I have some. I just walked. Did y'all just see that fall off the? Okay, stay on the thing. We don't want to fire. Anywho, yeah, there's a lot going on. So check the description. I'm gonna have all of my information down there for you guys to check out. Check my website to see what kind of like workshops and things I have going on when you watch this. So welcome back to all of the family that has been supporting me for so long. I love y'all, and welcome to all of the new folks who are just getting to the party, but hopefully you like it. Hopefully you'll stay. Today's video is going to be about spiritual cleansing. This is like a two-part video because I'm doing cleansing and protection. I decided to split it up just because I do think there's a lot to talk about with spiritual cleansing versus protection. A lot of the stuff is going to overlap, but I did want to make two videos. Okay, so when it comes to spiritual cleansing, why is it important to spiritually cleanse? Spiritual cleansing, it's basically like any other kind of cleansing. Like, people have asked me that a lot, like, well, what's the point on cleansing our energy, cleansing? It's the same reason why you brush your teeth, right? It's the same reason why you clean your house. When there are things that are kind of built up around you, sometimes it can make it hard to maneuver around things. You know, you want to be clean, and as you are energetically cleansed, it allows you to be more protected as well. So that's why they kind of go hand in hand, but I'll be talking about the cleansing version first. So I do have my notes here, so if you guys see me looking down, mind your business. Okay, I have ADHD. Let's just focus on them. Okay, so spiritual cleansing using the elements is something that I wanted to emphasize, just because as I've been growing in my practice, I have been tapping a lot more into nature. Nature is obviously a super important thing when it comes to magic, spirituality. So there are lots of different things that we can use with the elements to cleanse and also to protect. So I'm going to start with earth. Some things we can use to cleanse that are earth things. We have crystals, of course. I don't know if you can see my pineapple full of crystals. This is just a small portion of my crystal collection. It is overfloweth. But there are certain crystals that are created to cleanse, or are intended. They're not created for that reason. Maybe they are. I don't know. There are certain crystals that I use specifically to cleanse my auric field or other crystals, things like that. Selenite is one of the main ones that I use. I'm trying to move this without my whole thing, just like, I didn't plan to show y'all the selenite, but I figured I'd whip it out. So here is a selenite wand. Okay, kind of intimidating, but it's a really good tool, especially for any of my light worker people. If you guys are dealing with a lot of clients, if you guys are dealing just with a lot of energy in general, I like to have this bad boy here by my desk or on my desk, and I will also use it as a quick little, a quick little cleanse. We're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Um, a little aura cleanser. I also have like chunks of this that I will use to cleanse my tarot decks, oracle decks, my other crystals. I have chunks of it in my crystal tings because it also helps to clear those things out. So this is a really, really handy one to have as far as cleansing. Also, when it comes to the earth element and cleansing, um, grounding. I think a lot of times we don't give grounding enough credit for how it's able to clear us. I've been having a lot of people ask me lately, what is grounding? Basically, grounding is, think of it like almost in terms of electricity. Am I an electrician? No, I'm a fairy. Remember that. So before we go like, Salia, that's not how grounding works. Listen, it's just, okay. Anywho, basically what happens is like we allow the energy, all the excess energy going on with us, to be grounded into the earth. It allows us to be rid. It's almost like shedding skin, I feel like, in a lot of ways. And it kind of brings us into a center. It allows us to be a little bit more aligned. Okay, so that's the earth element tings that we can use for spiritual cleansing, energetic cleansing. So next element, air. For air, I have listed herbs. Some of these are going to overlap, but I have herbs, incense, sound. Sound is a cool one that I have been experimenting with a lot, and I've been having a lot of my clients use. I have some really cool stuff in my Amazon store, and I'll talk about that. So, air. I guess this kind of goes into like earth as well. So like plants, there are certain plants that are really, really good for spiritual cleansing. Snake plants, I have found, are really nice for spiritual cleansing. I've also done some research. Aloe, like aloe vera, is really good as well. Anything that's going to clean the air, which is a lot of plants, but specifically snake plants, aloe vera, and bamboo. For those of y'all who are OGs for real, comment down below if you are. If you remember my bamboo plants that I had, my lucky bamboo, that died, okay? My thumb is not green, okay? This is a witch's thumb, in case y'all didn't know. You see how it goes back like that? Witch's thumb. Not green thumb at all. Plus, but the thing about that's actually an important note to make. If you guys are very spiritual, or you find yourself being an empath and you seem not to be able to keep plants alive, it could be because your plants are cleansing for you. Do you understand? Your plants could be taking energetic, spiritual hits for you. And that sounds really sad when you think about it, but at the same time, it's kind of dope. I didn't realize that's why my plants always died until recently, when I've been going through my spiritual awakening. Plus, I also don't have a green thumb, but they tend to soak up negative energy. And just being a practitioner the way that I am, it's normal for a lot of negative energy to be floating around. That's why it's very important that I constantly cleanse. And so if you guys have any of that going on, you also need to cleanse regularly. Right? Really important to be very intentional about everything that I'm talking about when you use it. Make sure that you are resourcing these things from, responsible places, things like that. Okay, so also like herbs and incense as far as the air thing goes. Incense, I have some burning right now. I will put some in my Amazon store. I don't know if I'll be able to put this exact one. This is Himalayan herbs. They're Vedic herbs that are really good for cleansing. Let me read the thing for you. It says, this is good for cleansing of atmosphere and support of the soul to advance in spiritual heights during meditation. This was actually a gift from a guy at a crystal shop that I went to here in Hawaii. It was really dope. I was just buying some other stuff and he decided to give me that. And I have a lot of different incense. There's a lot of different incense that is used for cleansing and protection. I do really like dragon's blood. That's a good one for cleansing. So also you can do, of course, like your smoke. Sage, be careful about your sage, especially white sage, where you might be resourcing that, especially if you are not indigenous. Very important. There's a shortage of sage, um, ethically sourced, especially. Um, so be careful about using white sage. But there are a lot of alternatives to white sage. There's black sage, which is also called, dang, I can't remember what it's called, but I like that one too because mugwort is black sage. Um, you can use it in teas, which is also very protective, um, but it also doubles as something to strengthen your third eye and your, you know, like your intuitiveness, your dreams, things like that, as well as a cleanser. Okay, so sound. This one's really, really cool. So lately, like I said, I've been experimenting with sound and the way that we can use sound to cleanse. And I know y'all hear that. So in my Amazon store, I have put these bells. These are called Tingsha bells. These are Tibetan bells that are super, super dope. If you've been on my TikTok lives, you've been seeing me use these in between to kind of like cleanse. I use these during meditation. I use these during my cleansing rituals. They're really, really good for those things. They have these little dragons on them, which is a symbol of protection, which I love. So basically how these work, especially for my people who are clairaudient. If you don't know what that means, I have a whole video on all the clairs, and I'll be making a new one soon about the lesser known clairs, like tasting and smelling. But if your throat chakra is very active, right? If your aura tends to lean a little bit more blue, if you're always getting ringing in your ears, things like that, these bells might be very helpful for you to use, because they help clear the air. Think about the way that sound has vibration, right? Everything has vibration, but the way that sound works, I'm going to cling it. That wasn't the best cling ever. That was better. So basically I will take these bad boys either around my own aura or just around my space, and I will cling them together. It sounds really, really pretty, and you can also literally feel the energy kind of changing. Like I get chills usually when I use it, and I can literally feel and hear, you know, it's fun. So I would definitely recommend those. Like I said, it's in my Amazon. Okay, I don't know why my face is all up in the Amazon store. Also great ways to use sound, of course, our singing bowls. Other tools, they have like tuning forks that are really, really good for cleansing, some with good sound and some that are just more for the vibration. So definitely check those out. I'll try and list some of those on my Amazon store as well. Also using like frequencies. I can't name any off of the top of my head. You would think, right, with my notes that I would have like all the frequencies written out. Maybe I'll put it in the description bar. But there are certain frequencies of like sound that will help to clear out your space. There's frequencies for everything. For each of your chakras, definitely for clearing out space, negativity. I'm pretty sure I do have a playlist here on YouTube that is called Sleep Sounds, and it's full of sounds that I listen to while I'm sleeping. There's like long YouTube videos that will allow you to kind of subliminally take in the energy from the vibration of the sounds that are happening, if that makes sense. Yes, does that make sense? Okay. So next on our spiritual cleansing, fire. As the Sagittarius, fire is definitely a thing that I like to use. So then we come to like candles. There are certain candles that are really good for cleansing. You know, people make all kinds of things, infuse them with different herbs and things like that, that are really good. And then also some of the herbs that we talked about too, you can burn them, right? You know, your sages, I can't remember what kind of sage this is. It's not white sage. I can't remember what it's called, but I've been using this one for cleansing lately. Is it? I can't remember what kind of sage it is, but it's been good. It's been dope. There's a lot of different like flowers and things like that. Um, that you can use. It really just depends, right? Everything that I listed so far this is not an all-inclusive list, just to let you know. And just because I'm listing it doesn't mean it's going to be a great thing for you to use. Everybody's spiritual practice is completely different, so it's really important that you take what resonates for you and you leave what does not. Communicate with your guides, have a conversation, use your intuition to choose what's going to be best for you. If you are really drawn to earth energy, if you have a lot of earth energy, the earth things might be better for you. If you're an air sign or you have a lot of air in your chart or you resonate with air energy, that might be better for you. So it really is very specific. So don't think that because I am saying these things that, oh, I have to cleanse like this. Not necessarily, right? Let's see. So burning the herbs, fire. I love a good cleanse that way. A lot of times I will also burn, like to cleanse, I will do like smoke. I really love things that have smoke. Or also just like burning my intentions, like if there's something I want to get rid of, banishing. So that comes into like banishing spells and stuff like that. I don't get too far into my magic work in the public, just because I'm working with a lot of things that aren't necessarily, if you book a one-on-one session with me, you want to talk more about like magic and the way I do things, then we could do that. But I'm usually not putting that out in the public, Anywho, yeah, so one thing that I do like to do is burn sage leaves, like or not sage, basil. I will take basil leaves, literally just the ones you can get from the grocery store, the full basil leaves. I will write on them an intention, something that I'm trying to banish. I also use those for manifesting, inviting things in, but you can use them for banishing. I would definitely go with the phases of the moon for that if you are looking into it. That's important. Depending on your practice, again, right? Not everybody's going to go by the phases of the moon, but for me, that's something that has been really important in my use of magic and spiritual techniques. Okay. So next, water. We're my water babies. Baths. So you can do cleansing baths. Again, there are a lot of herbs. I will list them down below since I took my notes, but apparently I'm drawing a blank on what herbs, other than like sage and basil and things that I just talked about. But yeah, you can have a spiritual bath. Those are really good for setting your intentions. I think intention is really, really important. I mentioned it earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. Intention is really, really important for anything that you're doing spiritually, just in life in general. Have some intentions, right? Because what happens when you set an intention is you focus in your energy. It's almost like giving your energy a funnel. It gives it like a pathway to go towards a certain thing versus your energy just kind of being anywhere. And then, I don't know, maybe it will land over here, So, your spiritual baths, I have a TikTok on spiritual baths, like a super easy, affordable one. I was kind of worried about posting that, honestly, because I know that there are a lot of practitioners out there who are not super cool with like, oh, you have to, people get kind of snooty when it comes to their magic and stuff like that. For me, as a woman of color, as a Black person, and as somebody who's deeply connected to my ancestors, listen, did they have all this fancy stuff all the time to do things? Absolutely not. That's why I say everybody's practice is different. Use what you have. Use what you have. Use what you have access to. Use something that resonates with you and your bloodline. And if you don't know, do some research and do things that kind of fit. Make sure that whatever you're delving into isn't closed practice, because that's important. Respect is always a thing, right? But yeah, baths are really nice. They don't even have to necessarily be baths. You could also do like mixtures. There are tinctures, like oils and things like that you could also use for cleansing. Florida water. That is one that I have been on heavy lately. You can also I wouldn't pour Florida water in a bath if you're gonna like sit down in a bath, just because it has like I mean, you could. I haven't. I don't want my, never mind. Listen, it's been a while. It's been a while since I made a video. And I don't know if this is why this is happening, but whatever. Anywho, this is Florida water. I have Florida water in my Amazon store as well. So basically, and I'll just link it down below as well. So this is the Murray and Landman brand, which I really like. But what Florida water is, in case you guys don't know, it started off as actual cologne. It says cologne here. It's actual cologne. So it smells really good. It has a very fruity, citrus kind of scent. I throw this shit on everything. Not everything, but almost everything. You can put this on yourself. I have been using this a lot to cleanse myself and protect myself. It's a good cleanser and protector. So this will be coming up again in the protection video. It is very good for cleansing and protecting. I will personally use this every morning when I have readings. Every morning I will dab a little bit on my finger. I will start with my crown chakra before I cover my head, which will come in the protection video, right? Why do I cover my head now? Protection video. But I will put some on my finger. I will go on all of my chakra points. I will say a little bit of like a prayers and intentions for my chakra points to be cleansed, right? I put some on the back of my neck because I carry a lot of energy there. I throw some of this in my laundry, not too much because you don't want to start a fire in the dryer. You feel me? I use this as a wash when I wash my, I was going to say wash my aura. I wash my altar with this. I mean, technically it does wash your aura. I wash my altar with this. I wash my floors with this when I'm doing my cleaning and stuff like that. I have my little, you know, like Clorox wipes or whatever. I will pour some of this in that so that I can kind of clean and bless my home as I'm cleaning. So that's like a quick, you know, witchy tip. Florida water on everything. I will splash this on me before I go out. Just whatever, right? And it smells really good. If you want to make your own, there are recipes. I've never made my own yet, but there are recipes to make your own. It's basically like citrus. You can use vodka. It's a whole thing. It's really cool. Okay, so Florida water. Great. And then, okay, so we talked about baths, Florida water, washes, and salt water. I've also been using like ocean water, salt water, a lot for cleansing as well. If you guys have had a personal session with me and you've asked about cleansing, I've probably told you to use salt. I keep salt around me at all times just because it is a neutralizer. It is good for cleansing. I know there have been people who have argued about it, that like, oh, the only reason people think that salt works is because it helps to preserve food, and that's not even true. Don't argue with me, argue with your mama. I don't care. Listen, I'm sure there's a lot of people who think that I'm not actually talking to spirits, or that it's weird that I can see people's auras or what. Like, don't argue with me, argue with your mama. I don't care. Listen, salt. My spirit guides have personally told me, and I have seen the way that salt has helped me. And again, nothing without intention, right? So if you're just throwing salt, you know, around, whatever, that's on you. But if you want to use it intentionally, I usually use Himalayan salt. I have those in my Amazon store. Listen, your girl got all the things in my Amazon store. So if you're looking for things to help you on your spiritual journey, definitely check that out. Yeah, I have Himalayan pink salt lamps. I have these candle holders in there as well, which I recommend, especially for like your spell work. I always use salt for neutralization and protection in my spell work. Any kind of like workings that I'm doing, because protection is important when you are spell casting or setting intentions, or you know, whatever. But yeah, honestly, what I have in my bathroom is a whole thing of, I use Hawaiian salt because I have a connection to Hawaii. I live here and I work with spirits who live here. obviously. So I use Hawaiian salt, rock salt. I prefer like a chunkier salt. It doesn't have to be, but I prefer that. Every maybe month or so, I will wash myself down with salt. I just use it like a scrub. I don't have a bathtub. Whenever I do get a bathtub, or like have a chance to be around one, I'll throw salt in that as well. Again, very cleansing. I also, especially when I was going through some things, I was being psychically attacked. Yeah. When I was being psychically attacked, which is a whole different story, and we'll talk about that later. I was using salt regularly. Salt and cinnamon, actually. Cinnamon's very protective, but I'm moving into the next video. Um, yeah, so salt, literally just put some on my hands, wash my hands. Sometimes I'll do it before, sometimes I'll do it after I wash my hands regularly with soap. But again, making sure you get it on your palms. There's a lot of energy that enters through your palms. Also, my guides really harped on me to have it at the bottom of my feet as well. Okay, and then one more thing for spiritual cleansing that might be helpful for you guys. It's a very practical way of spiritually cleansing. A lemon cleanse. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you might have already seen this. If not, you can go back. I think there's a picture of me in a yellow bathing suit. What's popping? But I talk about cleansing with a lemon. So if you guys do want a whole like video on that, I think I could do that to just show you guys how it works. But there are ways that you could cleanse with lemons and salt that will help to absorb the negative energy around you. And it kind of is just like a check-in to see, you know, what's going on. There are also things like limpias, which are egg cleanses. There's a lot of different ways. So like I said, this is not an exhaustive list of all the different ways to cleanse. These are just some of my favorite ways to do it. I will have more information about all the stuff that I mentioned in the description bar below. But I hope this video has been helpful. I hope, if anything, that has opened your eyes to different ways that you can use to cleanse. Let me know if it was helpful. If you like this video, make sure you actually like it. And if you're not subscribed, do that. Turn on post notifications, because you never know when I'm posting at this point. But if you have post notifications on, you'll always know. The tea will always be fresh and hot for you. So thank you for watching. Let me know what videos you guys want to see next. I'm trying to get back on my stuff. We'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.